Welcome back, dear viewers, on Legacy Coins USA, where your pocket change could make you a billionaire overnight. Imagine discovering a single coin worth $30 million hiding in your old piggy bank right now. That 1981 Australian cent, that rare 1990 final year mintage, these aren't just coins, they are tickets to unimaginable wealth waiting for someone with the right eyes to find them. Here we reveal the secrets, the mint eras, the proof coins worth fortunes that collectors don't want you to know. Hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications, because tomorrow we reveal another treasure hiding in plain sight. Subscribe and get ready for next video next day. Your fortune awaits right here on Legacy Coins USA. Let's start now. Have you ever walked past a pile of old coins without a second thought? It is time to stop and look closer, because hiding in plain sight within your collection could be a small copper disc that not only features a regal portrait, but also a tiny piece of Australian wildlife that has become the subject of intense speculation. We are talking about the Elizabeth II Australia 1972 1-cent coin, a piece of currency that some claim could be the key to unlocking life-changing wealth. While many see it as mere pocket change, a growing chorus of collectors and treasure hunters believe that specific variations of this coin, possibly tied to experimental minting or the country's bicentennial celebrations, are worth a staggering amount. Imagine the thrill of discovering that a coin you've overlooked for decades is actually a hidden fortune, a genuine relic from a transformative era in Australian history. The allure of the 1972 1-cent coin lies not just in its age, but in the story it tells and the mysteries it holds. Struck in bronze, this coin features the elegant young bust of Queen Elizabeth II on one side, designed by Arnold Machen, and on the other, a delicate depiction of a feather-tailed glider, a masterful creation by Stuart Devlin. This little creature, often mistaken for a kangaroo in popular myths, represents Australia's unique and precious wildlife. However, the path to becoming a millionaire overnight is paved with knowledge. While standard 1972 1-cent coins were mass-produced and hold little more than sentimental value, the whispers of fortune surround potential minting errors, rare variations, and the confusing but persistent legends that link this coin to bicentennial celebrations and astronomical valuations. This is where the story takes a dramatic turn, blending fact with the kind of folklore that makes coin collecting so exhilarating. The tale of the multi-million-dollar 1972 cent is often intertwined with the broader narrative of Australian bicentennial rare coins. The year 1988 marked 200 years since the arrival of the First Fleet, and the Royal Australian Mint released a series of special commemorative coins. Among these, the most famous is the 1988 50-cent coin era, where some coins were mistakenly struck with the standard coat of arms instead of the commemorative First Fleet design. These genuine errors have sold for nearly $15,000, proving that mint mistakes can indeed be a ticket to a small fortune. It is this real-life treasure hunt that fuels the dream that a 1972 cent, perhaps through a similar, undocumented era, could be worth millions. To understand the value of any coin, one must look at the undisputed king of Australian numismatics, the 1930 penny. This pre-decimal penny is the benchmark for rarity and value, with only a handful ever struck, and it consistently sells for life-changing sums. It stands as proof that Australian coins can indeed be worth a fortune. The legend of the 1972 cent likely draws its power from the fame of the 1930 penny. Collectors and dreamers alike hope that other years and denominations might also hide similar secrets. Perhaps a small batch of 1972 cents was struck on the wrong planchet, or with a misaligned die, creating a rarity that could be worth tens of thousands, if not millions. So what is the reality for the average person sifting through their old piggy bank? The information circulating about the 1972 Elizabeth II Australia 1-cent coin being worth nearly $10 million is highly speculative and not supported by mainstream numismatic evidence. Standard coins from that year are common and are valued at just a few dollars in uncirculated condition. However, this should not dampen your enthusiasm. Instead, it should sharpen your eye for detail. The true value lies in the anomalies, the off-center strikes, the double dies, the coins with experimental planchets that might have accidentally slipped into circulation. It is this slim but exhilarating possibility that makes checking your change one of the most affordable and exciting hobbies in the world. The emotional hook of this search is undeniable. The idea that a humble coin, perhaps sitting in a dusty jar or an old childhood money box, could transform your life overnight is a powerful one. It speaks to a universal desire for discovery and security. The narrative encourages you to become a detective in your own home, to look at everyday objects with new eyes. It connects you to the vast tapestry of history, reminding you that the money we use is not static. It is a living record of artistry, politics, and sometimes wonderful human error. This hunt for the 1972 rarity is not just about money. It is about the thrill of the find, the story behind the object, and the dream that fortune might favor the observant. Therefore, heed the call to action. Take a moment to rummage through your collection, explore that old piggy bank, or examine the pile of coins tucked away in the corner of a drawer. While the specific claim of a $10,001,972 cent should be taken with a healthy dose of skepticism, the broader message is pure gold. You never know what you might find. Look for anything unusual, a slight variation in the design, an odd color, a date that doesn't look quite right. If you stumble upon a 1930 penny, a rare 1988 50-cent error, or any pre-decimal coin in exceptional condition, you could indeed be holding a ticket to unimaginable wealth. The search for Australia's hidden treasures is on, and your next great discovery could be just a fingertip away. In conclusion, the world of rare coin collecting is a fascinating blend of hard facts and tantalizing legends. While the 1972 Elizabeth II Australia 1-cent coin is not the confirmed million-dollar treasure that some stories suggest, it serves as a brilliant gateway into a hobby filled with genuine riches and historical wonder. The information circulating about its immense value, while not factual, has successfully engaged the public imagination and encouraged thousands to look more closely at their spare change. And in doing so, they might just uncover a genuine rarity like the bicentennial-era coin or the fabled 1930 penny. So keep searching, keep questioning, and remember that in the realm of numismatics, the next unbelievable discovery is always just around the corner. Keep a close eye on your change, because that hidden treasure might be sitting right in your pocket. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a big find. Stay tuned, because in the next video, we're diving into another legendary coin that could be worth a small fortune. Coin number 2. Imagine holding a small piece of copper in your palm that could rewrite your family's future forever. The Elizabeth II Australia 1977 1-cent coin sits quietly in jars, drawers, and piggy banks across the nation, unnoticed and underappreciated by millions who have no idea what might be hiding in plain sight. While most see spare change, a growing community of treasure hunters and collectors whisper about the extraordinary possibility that certain variations of this modest coin could be worth sums that defy belief. The year 1977 holds special significance in Australian history, marking the silver jubilee of Queen Elizabeth II's reign, a moment when the entire Commonwealth celebrated 25 years of her sovereignty with commemorative coins and special minting processes that may have created opportunities for errors and variations worth their weight in gold many times over. The design of the 1977 1-cent coin tells a story of Australian identity and artistic excellence that adds layers to its potential value. Renowned artist Stuart Devlin crafted the reverse side, featuring the delicate feather-tailed glider, a creature so small and exquisite that capturing its image on a tiny bronze disc required extraordinary skill and precision. This is not the kangaroo of popular imagination, but something far rarer and more intimate, a secret almost hidden on the coin itself. The obverse presents the young and elegant bust of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin, capturing the monarch in the prime of her reign, her portrait radiating the dignity and grace of a silver jubilee year. Every detail, from the tiara in her hair to the tiny claws of the glider, represents a moment frozen in time, a piece of art that circulated through millions of hands without receiving the appreciation it deserved. What transforms a common coin into a life-changing fortune lies in the mysteries of the minting process itself. the Royal Australian Mint struck an astounding 153.43 million 1-cent coins in 1977, flooding the nation with small bronze discs that served everyday commerce. Yet within this ocean of ordinary currency, extraordinary exceptions occurred. Imagine a planchet accidentally fed through the presses twice, creating a double strike with ghostly images layered upon each other. Picture a die misalignment that pushed the Queen's portrait to the very edge of the coin, creating an error so dramatic that collectors would pay thousands to own it. Consider the possibility of experimental alloys finding their way into a handful of coins, or proof strikes meant for presentation sets accidentally released into circulation. These are the accidents that create millionaires, the mistakes that turn pocket change into heirlooms. The market whispers of valuations approaching $15 million for the rarest specimens, and while such figures spark the imagination, the true value lies in understanding what makes a coin genuinely exceptional. The 1977 proof sets, minted in limited quantities of approximately 55,000 for collectors, represent the pinnacle of the mint's art, struck multiple times with polished dies on specially prepared planchets to create mirror-like finishes that ordinary circulation coins never achieve. When these proof coins appear on the market, they command respect and substantial prices, especially when preserved in their original packaging with certificates of authenticity. The Silver Jubilee commemorative sets from 1977 hold particular magic, combining 6 coins, including the special 50-cent piece celebrating the Queen's anniversary, creating a complete time capsule of Australian numismatic history. For those who feel their hearts race at the thought of discovery, the search requires both patience and knowledge. The most valuable 1977 cents will reveal themselves through close examination under good light, perhaps with a magnifying glass revealing details invisible to the casual observer. Look for coins that feel different in weight, that show unusual doubling in the lettering, that display off-center strikes where the design drifts toward one edge like a sun setting on the bronze horizon. Pay attention to surface texture, the difference between the satin finish of circulation coins and the mirror-like proof surfaces that might indicate a valuable mint error or a specimen that escaped from a collector's set. Every scratch, every tunning pattern, every slight imperfection tells a story, and sometimes that story ends with a bank deposit that changes everything. While the 1977 cent captures imagination, the broader world of Australian coinage offers additional pathways to fortune that might await in that same piggy bank or collection. The genuine treasures of Australian numismatics include the legendary 1930 penny, worth hundreds of thousands when found, and the 1988 bicentennial 50-cent era coins that mistakenly featured the standard coat of arms instead of the commemorative First Fleet design. The 1966 round 50 cents, with its high silver content, the 1981 10-cent coin struck on a Sri Lankan planchet worth approximately $600. These represent the real, documented rarities that command verified prices in the collector market. The dream of the $15 million coin may represent the horizon, but the path to that horizon is paved with genuine treasures waiting to be recognized. So take this moment as your call to adventure, your invitation to become a detective in your own home. Empty that old ceramic piggy bank that has sat untouched since childhood, sort through the coffee can of coins your grandfather kept in the garage, examine every 1977 cent with the reverence it deserves. Hold each piece up to the light, feel its weight, study its details, and imagine the journey it has traveled through 4 decades of Australian life. The possibility that you might hold a fortune in your fingertips is real enough to make the search worthwhile, and the education you gain about history, art, and the fascinating world of numismatics enriches you whether or not you strike gold. The coins are waiting, the secrets are hidden, and your moment of discovery could begin with the very next coin you examine. Coin number 3. Imagine holding a modest bronze coin that could be worth more than a mansion, a fleet of luxury cars, or even a small island in the South Pacific. The Elizabeth II Australia 1981 1-cent coin sits quietly in countless jars, drawers, and forgotten piggy banks across the nation, waiting for someone with keen eyes and a sense of wonder to recognize its potential. While most Australians walk past these coins every day without a second glance. A thrilling possibility haunts the world of numismatics, that certain variations of this unassuming piece of currency could be worth an almost incomprehensible $30 million in today's market. This is not merely a coin. It is a potential key to a life of unimaginable wealth, a tiny bronze disc that could transform an ordinary person into a billionaire overnight, changing not just your fortune, but your entire family's destiny for generations to come. The 1981 1-cent coin carries on its small surface a masterpiece of Australian artistic heritage that adds immeasurable depth to its story. The reverse features the exquisite feathertail glider, a delicate creature native to the forests of eastern Australia, designed by the renowned artist Stuart Devlin, who created the reverses for all original Australian decimal coins. This is not the kangaroo of popular imagination, but something far more subtle and beautiful, a tiny possum with a feather-like tail that glides silently through moonlit forests. Devlin's initials appear in minuscule letters below the creature's tail, a hidden signature that connects you directly to the artist's hand. The obverse presents the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Arnold Machin, showing the young monarch wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, her dignified profile facing right with the legend ELIZABETH II Australia 1981, completing the design. What makes the 1981 cent particularly fascinating to collectors and treasure hunters is the extraordinary story of its production across 2 continents. While the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra struck an astounding 183.6 million of these coins, a remarkable additional 40.3 million were produced at the British Royal Mint in Llantrisant, Wales. This transcontinental mintage creates a unique situation where coins of the same year and denomination may carry subtle differences depending on their origin. The total production of approximately 224 million coins represents a sea of ordinary currency, but within this vast ocean swim the rarest of fish, the errors, the proofs, and the anomalies that can transform pocket change into a collector's holy grail. The path to $30 million lies not in the common circulation coins, but in the extraordinary variations that emerged from the minting process. Among the 224 million coins struck in 1981, a tiny fraction were produced as proof coins for collectors, with only 86,000 of these special strikes ever made. These proof coins received multiple strikes on specially prepared planchets, creating mirror-like fields and frosted designs that ordinary circulation coins never achieve. Beyond these documented proofs lie the true treasures: the off-center strikes where the design drifts dramatically toward the edge, the double strikes creating ghostly overlapping images, the planchet errors where experimental metals found their way into the production line, and the die cracks that create unique raised lines across the coin's surface. Each of these anomalies represents a moment where the machinery of empire faltered just enough to create something extraordinarily valuable. The year 1981 holds additional significance in the broader context of Australian numismatics, marked by special commemorative issues that capture the spirit of the era. The Royal Australian Mint produced the 1981 proof set containing 6 coins, including the 1-cent piece, packaged in elegant presentation cases that preserved these miniature works of art for future generations. That same year witnessed the wedding of Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer, an event celebrated on special 50-cent coins that remain popular with collectors today. While these royal wedding commemoratives represent a different denomination, they speak to the heightened collecting interest surrounding 1981 coins of all types, creating a market environment where the 1-cent piece benefits from increased attention and scrutiny. The figure of $30 million circulating in online discussions captures the imagination precisely because it represents wealth beyond ordinary comprehension. While mainstream numismatic sources do not support such astronomical valuations for standard 1981 1-cent coins, the legend persists because it speaks to a universal human truth: we all dream of discovering hidden treasure. The documented rarities of Australian coinage provide the foundation for such dreams, with the legendary 1930 penny selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars and the 1966 wavy baseline 20-cent coin commanding prices up to $3,500. The 2000 Mule-era $1 coin, accidentally struck with a 10-cent obverse die, can bring between $300 and $4,000 depending on condition. These genuine treasures prove that fortunes can indeed hide in plain sight. For those who feel their pulse quicken at the thought of discovery, the 1981 1-cent coin offers a particularly promising hunting ground due to its 2-mint production and the possibility of undocumented errors crossing the oceans between Wales and Canberra. Examine each coin under good light, preferably with magnification, searching for doubling in the lettering, unusual die markers, or surface textures that differ from the normal circulation strikes. Pay attention to weight and color, as experimental planchets might feel slightly different in the hand. The 86,000 proof coins from 1981, with their mirror-like surfaces, represent the most accessible path to value, but the true fortune hunters seek the uncatalogued errors that have not yet been discovered by the collecting community. So take this moment as your personal call to adventure, your invitation to become a treasure hunter in your own home. Empty that old coffee can in the garage, sort through the ceramic piggy bank from your childhood, examine every 1981 1-cent coin with the reverence it deserves. Hold each piece up to the light, feel its weight, study every detail of the tiny glider and the young queen's portrait. The possibility that you might hold $30 million in your fingertips is real enough to make the search worthwhile, and even if you find only common circulation coins, you have connected with Australian history, with artistry, and with the timeless human hope that fortune favors the observant. The coins are waiting, the secrets are hidden, and your moment of discovery could begin with the very next coin you examine. Coin number 4. Imagine holding a small bronze disc in your palm that could be worth more than $30 million, a piece of ordinary pocket change that carries the power to transform your life beyond your wildest dreams. The Elizabeth II Australia 1982 1-cent coin sits quietly in millions of homes across the nation, tucked away in forgotten piggy banks, old coffee tins, and the dusty corners of dresser drawers, waiting for someone with keen eyes and a sense of wonder to recognize its true potential. While most Australians walk past these coins every single day without a second glance, a thrilling possibility haunts the world of numismatics, that certain variations of this unassuming piece of currency could be worth an almost incomprehensible fortune in today's market. This is not merely a coin. It is a potential key to a life of unimaginable wealth, a tiny bronze treasure that could change not just your fortune, but your entire family's destiny for generations to come, making you a billionaire overnight if you happen to possess the right variation. The 1982 1-cent coin carries on its small surface a masterpiece of Australian artistic heritage that adds immeasurable depth to its story and potential value. The reverse features the exquisite feathertail glider, a delicate creature native to the forests of eastern Australia, designed by the renowned artist Stuart Devlin, who created the reverses for all original Australian decimal coins. This is not the kangaroo of popular imagination, but something far more subtle and beautiful, a tiny possum with a feather-like tail that glides silently through moonlit forests, captured in stunning detail on this humble bronze disc. Devlin's initials appear in minuscule letters below the creature's tail, a hidden signature that connects you directly to the artist's hand that created this miniature masterpiece. The obverse presents the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Arnold Machin, showing the young monarch wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, her dignified profile facing right with the legend ELIZABETH II Australia 1982, completing the design, creating a coin that represents both Australian wildlife and British heritage in perfect harmony. What makes the 1982 cent particularly fascinating to collectors and treasure hunters is the extraordinary historical context surrounding its creation and the documented variations that already command significant prices in the collector market. The year 1982 held special significance for Australia as it hosted the XII Commonwealth Games in Brisbane, a moment of national pride celebrated with special coin sets that included the 1-cent piece. The Royal Australian Mint in Canberra struck approximately 134,290,001 cent coins for general circulation in 1982, a vast sea of ordinary currency. Yet within this ocean, the mint also produced 195,000 brilliant uncirculated coins packaged in special Commonwealth game sets, and an additional 100,000 proof strikes created for collectors, each of these special coins representing a higher standard of quality and potential value that sets them apart from the millions of circulation strikes. These are the documented treasures, but the true fortune hunters seek the undocumented errors that could be worth millions. The path to $30 million lies not in the common circulation coins, but in the extraordinary variations that emerged from the minting process, the accidents and anomalies that transform ordinary pocket change into a collector's holy grail. Among the 134 million coins struck in 1982, a tiny fraction represents something special. The off-center strikes where the design drifts dramatically toward the edge, the double strikes creating ghostly overlapping images that speak of machinery momentarily malfunctioning, the planchet errors where experimental metals found their way into the production line, and the die cracks that create unique raised lines across the coin's surface, like lightning frozen in bronze. Each of these anomalies represents a moment where the perfect precision of the mint faltered just enough to create something extraordinarily valuable, a mistake that could be worth more than gold or diamonds to the right collector who recognizes what they hold in their hands. The figure of $30 million circulating in online discussions captures the imagination precisely because it represents wealth beyond ordinary comprehension, the kind of money that buys islands, yachts, and freedom from every financial worry you have ever known. While mainstream numismatic sources do not support such astronomical valuations for standard 1982 1-cent coins, the legend persists because it speaks to a universal human truth. We all dream of discovering hidden treasure, of being the one who finds the needle in the haystack, the diamond in the rough. The documented rarities of Australian coinage provide the foundation for such dreams, with proof coins from 1982 already commanding respect in the collector community and errors from other years selling for life-changing sums. The genuine treasures of Australian numismatics prove that fortunes can indeed hide in plain sight, waiting for the right person to come along and recognize their value. For those who feel their pulse quicken at the thought of discovery, the 1982 1-cent coin offers a particularly promising hunting ground due to its association with the Commonwealth Games and the documented production of special mint state and proof coins that already carry verified value. Examine each coin under good light, preferably with magnification, searching for the mirror-like surfaces that distinguish proof coins from circulation strikes, for the sharp detail that indicates an uncirculated specimen, for doubling in the lettering or unusual die markers that might indicate a rare error. Pay attention to weight and color, as experimental planchets might feel slightly different in the hand. The 100,000 proof coins and 195,000 uncirculated specimens from 1982 represent the most accessible path to value, but the true fortune hunters seek the uncatalogued errors that have not yet been discovered by the collecting community, the anomalies that could be worth millions to the right buyer. So take this moment as your personal call to adventure, your invitation to become a treasure hunter in your own home and potentially change your life forever. Empty that old coffee can in the garage, sort through the ceramic piggy bank from your childhood, examine every 1982 1-cent coin with the reverence and attention it deserves. Hold each piece up to the light, feel its weight in your palm, study every detail of the tiny glider and the young queen's portrait, and imagine the journey this small bronze disc has traveled through more than 4 decades of Australian life. The possibility that you might hold $30 million in your fingertips is real enough to make the search worthwhile, and even if you find only common circulation coins, you have connected with Australian history, with artistry, and with the timeless human hope that fortune favors the observant and the persistent. The coins are waiting, the secrets are hidden, and your moment of discovery could begin with the very next coin you examine, the very next moment you choose to look a little closer at the forgotten change in your life. Coin number 5. Imagine holding in your hand the very last of its kind, a final chapter in a story that began when decimal currency first sparkled in Australian pockets back in 1966. The Elizabeth II Australia 1991 cent coin represents something profoundly special in the world of numismatics. It is the final circulating 1 cent coin ever produced by the Royal Australian Mint, the end of an era that touched the lives of every Australian who ever received change at a corner store or saved coins in a childhood piggy bank. This small bronze disc, weighing a mere 2.6 grams and measuring just 17.65 millimeters across, carries the weight of history on its tiny surface. While rumors swirl through online communities and collector forums about valuations approaching $24 million, the true magic of the 1990 cent lies in its status as the last of a noble line, a piece of currency that witnessed the final years of small change before inflation and rising production costs spelled the end for Australia's smallest denomination. The design of the 1991 cent coin represents a beautiful convergence of artistic talent that speaks to Australia's unique identity and British heritage. On the obverse, we see the third portrait of Queen Elizabeth II created by the talented sculptor Raphael David Makhlouf, showing the young monarch wearing the King George IV state diadem, her graceful profile captured with remarkable detail and dignity. If you look very closely with a magnifying glass, you can spot Makhlouf's initials RDM incused on the neck truncation, a tiny signature connecting you to the artist's hand. The reverse features the exquisite feathertail glider designed by Stuart Devlin, a delicate marsupial native to the forests of eastern Australia, its tiny form rendered with such precision that you can almost imagine it gliding silently through moonlit trees. Devlin's initials, SD, appear in minuscule letters below the creature's tail, another hidden treasure for the keen-eyed collector. The year 1990 holds monumental significance in Australian monetary history, a fact that adds immeasurable depth to any 1991 cent coin you might discover. On 21 August 1990, the Treasurer made a historic announcement during the budget speech that would forever change the landscape of Australian currency. The 1 cent and 2 cent coins would cease production. The decision came after years of inflation had eroded the coin's purchasing power, and the cost of minting each small bronze disc had grown to exceed its face value. The ABC reported that while production would stop, the coins would continue circulating well into 1991, with the actual withdrawal from circulation finally occurring in February 1992. This means the 1990 cent you hold today was part of the final mintage, the last time these coins would roll off the presses for everyday Australian commerce. The mintage figures for the 1991 cent tell a fascinating story of abundance and scarcity intertwined. According to official records from the Royal Australian Mint, approximately 133.3 million 1 cent coins were struck in 1990, all produced at the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra. While this number sounds enormous, context matters enormously in the collecting world. These 133 million coins represent the final breath of a denomination that had seen annual mintages exceeding 200 million in years, like 1983. Every single one of these 1990 cents was destined for circulation, jingling in pockets and accumulating in jars across the nation, until the withdrawal in 1992 pulled them from active use. Today, finding one in pristine uncirculated condition becomes increasingly difficult, as most were handled, spent, and worn through normal use during their brief 2 years of official circulation. While the $24 million figure circulating in online discussions captures imagination, the documented value of special 1991 cent coins tells a more grounded but equally exciting story for collectors. The Royal Australian Mint produced 195,000 brilliant uncirculated coins for the 1990 year set, specially struck for collectors with greater care than circulation coins. Even more valuable are the proof coins, including the extremely limited Sydney International Coin Fair proof sets that command respect in the collecting community. These proof coins receive multiple strikes on specially prepared planchets, creating mirror-like fields and frosted designs that ordinary circulation coins never achieve. The 1990 proof year sets and special issues represent the cream of the crop, the coins that dealers actively seek and collectors proudly display in their cabinets. What makes the 1990 cent particularly compelling for treasure hunters is the documented existence of mint eras and varieties that can multiply value exponentially. Throughout the production run of 1-cent coins, errors occurred. Off-center strikes where the design drifts dramatically toward the edge, double strikes creating ghostly overlapping images, planchet errors where experimental metals found their way into production, and die cracks creating unique raised lines across the coin's surface. While specific error statistics for 1990 are not comprehensively documented, the possibility that you might discover an uncatalogued error in your collection represents the dream that keeps collectors examining every coin with rapt attention. Even standard circulation 1990 cents in mint condition can hold value beyond face, with dealers currently offering uncirculated examples for several dollars. The afterlife of the 1991 cent coins adds a final poetic chapter to their story that connects them to Australian sporting glory. After the coins were withdrawn from circulation in 1992, vast quantities of 1-cent and 2-cent coins were gathered by the Royal Australian Mint and melted down for an extraordinary purpose. The bronze from these humble coins was transformed into medals awarded to athletes at the Sydney 2000 Summer Olympics, widely considered one of the most successful games of the modern Olympic era. Imagine the journey. A 1991 cent coin resting quietly in some collection escaped the melting pot, while millions of its siblings were reborn as Olympic medals hanging from the necks of champions. This transformation from pocket change to Olympic glory represents the kind of magical connection that makes coin collecting so deeply rewarding. For collectors and enthusiasts examining their 1990 cents today, the key factors that determine value include condition, provenance, and the presence of any mint errors. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition with original mint luster command premiums, as do proof coins preserved in their original packaging. The third portrait by Makhlouf, used only from 1985 through the end of circulation in 1990, represents a distinct era of Australian coinage that collectors appreciate. While the $24 million figure remains in the realm of collector folklore rather than documented reality, the genuine treasures of Australian numismatics include the 1930 penny worth hundreds of thousands, the 1966 wavy baseline 20-cent coin commanding thousands, and the various proof and mint state 1990 cents that hold verified value in today's market. So take this moment as your invitation to adventure, your chance to become part of Australian numismatic history. Empty that old jar in the garage, sort through the collection your grandparents left behind, examine every 1991 cent coin with the reverence it deserves as the last circulating cent ever minted in Australia. Hold each piece up to good light, study the delicate glider and the young queen's portrait, feel the weight of history in your palm. The possibility that you might hold a rare error, a proof coin, or simply a pristine uncirculated specimen is real enough to make the search endlessly rewarding. And even if you find only common circulation coins, you have connected with the final chapter of a denomination that served Australia for 26 years, touched millions of lives, and ultimately found new life as Olympic glory. The coins are waiting, their secrets hidden, and your moment of discovery could begin with the very next 1990 cent you examine. Your piggy bank might already contain the key to a billionaire's lifestyle, and the coins we've uncovered today prove that fortune truly favors the observant. But the treasure hunt doesn't end here. In fact, it's only getting started. Follow the link below to subscribe to our channel and become part of an exclusive community that learns about these hidden fortunes before anyone else. We've got another mind-blowing coin revelation coming your way tomorrow, that will have you scrambling to check every jar and drawer in your house. Don't let someone else find the fortune that could have been yours. Subscribe now and get ready for next video next day.